Hello, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 here at the Blue Chip Basketball Academy's Fall League. Marcus Shockley alongside Brandon Blakeney. Brandon, I'll hand it over to you.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to game 2. And we've got a heck of a matchup. The Reynolds Demons versus the BCBA Triad All-Star Select team. A lot of guys from different teams. Some Mount Tabor, Winston Prep guys mixed in. They're only running with 5, but when you got that 5 picked out, you might only need 5.
Well, you know, the thing about that, though, no substitutions only sounds great when you're playing pickup.
Yeah, exactly. True enough, and we'll see if Reynolds, they're 9 deep today, if they really try to push the pace and get it going here.
I may have missed it. Did you say who our home and away is?
Our home will be the BCBA Elite or Select team as Isaiah Wilkins goes up. And the away side, wearing the black unis, will be Reynolds.
So just to give everybody a heads up, this is a running clock until we get down to the last 2 minutes of the game. Last game, that mattered. Mattered a lot.
Yeah, it did.
We had a buzzer beater.
So Quest Aldridge looking to create some space here, and he's had a great spring, great summer. Marcus didn't see his jump shot falls. Didn't see a lot of time as a sophomore in a deep backcourt for Mount Tabor last year, but he will be the starting point guard this year, and I expect a major breakout debut season for him. Oh, great find. Shot just off the mark. Quest, great court vision as he drops it off to Davion Williamson. Finds his man Corey right here, the Winston Prep teammates. Oh, Quest, shot just off the mark.
Yeah, Williamson has, just so much college interest now.
Yeah, he does, and he's down to 5 schools, I believe, and should be making a decision here in the next month or so. I believe talking to him, but definitely have to recheck with him and keep up with that on the recruiting trails. He's got some good lists of schools as he lines up a big 3 there. He's definitely just trying to.
He's one of those guys that had so much interest, he had to shed some of the interest. He's like, look, I'm not going to go everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, and he'll be a good one at the next level, as a lot of the prep guards have been. Coach Goo doing a great job out there producing college-level talent.
Yeah, Winston-Salem Prep is one of the basketball factories, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. They put out a lot of great players, and they make deep runs in the playoffs here in the public school system in North Carolina.
They do, and I don't know if you saw on the Sirius Mirror, What's the Hype, I did interview Coach Goo, and he already claimed the 2017-2018 state title for 1A. So.
Well, that sounds like him. The guys there at Winston-Salem Prep, we'll be broadcasting them at least in January. There's another deep 3 on the outside, not trying to talk over Williamson.
Big 3 there.
But, we'll be doing the Hoop Cities Invitational, and Winston-Salem Prep will be in that one. If you guys remember, we've done that in the past, and that is a fantastic event. Teams coming, that is a nice just touch pass from Williamson.
Great dish there, showing the playmaking. And he truly is a combo guard. I think he'll be more of a 1 at the next level as he continues to hone on his handles and playmaking ability, because, truthfully, he can score with the best in the state of his class.
I always like to tell people that there's a difference between somebody who is a true combo and somebody who is a combo by default. So, if a guy's too small to play the 2, but he can't really play the 1 very well, he will be called a combo guard. And then you have guys like Williamson who really are able to play both positions.
Exactly. They just possess the skill to score. He can search his own shot, but he's also unselfish and can get others involved, as you're seeing right there.
Nice fake. Probably should have taken that shot.
Oh,
pays off. He gets the assist.
And Williams 2 for 3 early from deep.
Yeah, he is just. It's not even looking like he's even having to think about it. He's unconscious.
And Rutherford transferred over from Atkins and won. Rutherford transferred over from Atkins this year. Big-time shooter. He'll add another element to Winston Prep.
You're right about that. Rutherford, little note by him about him is that during our summer broadcast at the ECBO, which is a semi-pro league, I want to be clear about this, not high school, not college, semi-pro basketball. They had a 3-point shooting contest prior to the All-Star game for that league, and Corey was in it as a high schooler.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the high schoolers were, talking about that, as well as, some were invited and turned down the invitation. He was one of the ones that
he
really
showed up, and we did an interview with him. And, one of the things I like about him, he's an articulate, smart young man.
Yes, sir, he is.
He's the kind of guy that I would say, not only can he play, but college coaches should be just clamoring to say, this guy's going to make my program better, and he's not going to he's not going to be a guy I have to worry about at any level,
Definitely going to get it done on the court and off the court as well.
Yep.
Oh, great find there. That's turnover there from Mr. Goodlow. And Quest with the easy finish and transition. Now, I'm interested to see this Reynolds team from returning some talent from last year. A lot of talent. They were young, didn't lose much. Lost a couple players, didn't lose much. As Goodlow's off. Number 39, Ian Henderson, was a great guard for them last year.
Yeah.
High volume shooter, knocks it down, get hot in a hurry from downtown, and he really was a difference maker.
I think Reynolds' big issue this year is going to be size.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, they've had some big men in the past. Like a couple years back, they had Akia Pruitt, and they had guard Chris Freeman, who was about 6'4", 6'5".
Freeman was a beast.
And they just had a lot of size that they could throw at you, and they don't have that this year.
No, and they're known for like you said, they're long, athletic players that they usually have not too much size. We'll see if Larry Borland he'll probably have a lot of front court action, a lot of front court duties.
A lot quieter in the gym here, game number 2. I think we had a huge fan base that traveled for the first game.
I guess it kind of sucked the wind out. Yeah, not too much.
That was a buzzer beater, and we've got some good talent on the floor here.
Still great talent, and I'm telling you, nobody's going to great basket there by Borlow, take it into the chest of Rutherford. They're not going to want to miss this BBA select team. I'm telling you, this group is very talented. We got 4 D1 guys on the same floor right now playing on the same team.
Yeah, and we've got the marquee matchup coming up next, number 1 versus number 2 for the title.
And that should be a good one as well. This is my first look at number 99, Carson Anthus, for these guys. He's gonna be maybe a glue guy for this group. Really can knock down some open shots and take off some of the pressure from some of these star guys out here that are gonna be drawing these double teams and triple teams. Guys like Isaiah Wilkins here at the line. And speaking of Big Summers, my goodness, him and that 16U CP3 team taking home the Nike 16U Peach Jam.
Yeah, that's a huge win.
Huge win in front of a lot of coaches. And, a lot of guys weren't sure how he was going to fit into that roster. A lot of highly talented guys, high major guys. And he really came in and played big minutes, very versatile, big guard forward. Good rebound there by Rutherford. Quest Aldridge with the vision. Good job by Ian Anderson to really disrupt that pass and get back on defense.
Talking about the Peach Jam, that's something I had scouted for years. I didn't go this past year. It has gotten to be a major event. It always was a major event on the recruiting circuit.
Yeah.
Big outside three there.
Aldridge makes it look so easy. But yeah, like you were saying, Peach Jam, definitely big time. The recruitment.
Yeah, coaches wall to wall. At one time, I guess as a scout, there were times when you could get in there and you could see certain players, but every major coach is there, every major recruit is there. I guess that's somewhat of a misstatement. There are players who play on the Under Armour and the Adidas circuits as well that are high major Division I players, but the Peach Jam is a major event. We don't know if there's going to be fallout from the FBI investigations this summer.
So much has been going on with that, and it's just crazy because, just hearing all the talk, me being my first year really in the biz, seeing all this madness, everybody's just kind of wondering what is going to be the fallout, what is moving forward with AAU, how's the structure going to be looking next year.
It's a little tough. I think a lot of people have, and I'm not going to claim to be an expert on what's about to happen, but I think a lot of people have a misconception that paying the players, if Nike was funneling money to colleges and stuff like that, which everyone is aware that happens.
Yeah, it's kind of like an unspoken,
feed inside there and finish. But that is not actually illegal. The problem comes when these players go to college and they start taking sometimes scholarship money or grant money that's backed by the government, and that becomes an issue of fraud. So that's the sort of the catch-22. Nike can, or I hate to say Nike, but any of the shoe companies can sort of sit back and say, well, we're just funneling money or paying a coach. This isn't anything illegal.
As Borland gets the finish, nice find there. And I've just been kind of studying as well, like you said. I mean, I've written 2 pieces. You can check out as Wilkins is off for the 3.
Yeah, they had it
there.
up for 3. Looked like his foot was on the line.
Yeah, it
didn't
close.
matter anyway.
A great rebound there by Quest, and he's gotten better. That's improvement he's made on his game. Looks like we'll go the other way with Reynolds. But, yeah, back to what you were saying with the whole Louisville thing, too, as well, like things just going crazy for certain schools named. ACC got hit pretty hard. You know, we're in the heart of ACC country here, but just looking and analyzing that with the shoe companies being involved and, you know, trying to big 3 there.
Big three on the outside.
As the shoe companies, you know, try to get involved and really get involved with hoops and shoot, you know, the sponsorship of the teams, the traveling and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and I think if people have not gone to the Peach Jam and they've just heard about it, and first of all, okay, I'll stop myself for a second. We'll talk about the difference between AAU and
the travel circuit.
Yeah,
what it really is.
There really isn't. AAU isn't really what people are talking about. The Nike circuit, the Adidas circuit, the Adidas Gauntlet.
Agreed.
The Under Armour, those are not technically AAU. I mean, you have teams that do play in AAU sanctioned events, but mostly what we're talking about is independent travel ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the majority of events that you and I would go to scout are not going to be AAU.
No, I haven't been to many AAU. Lot of private circuit action, and I mean that's where the athletes are. That's where the gear is, the free gear, the travel, the money, the expenses. That's where it is. And I've got 2 pieces out right now talking about that. Just you can check it out on Phenom Hoops, and also follow us on Twitter as well, all social media at B Blakeney Sports. Marcus Shockley, M_Shockley. But just seeing how it's
nice
evolved.
Finish inside by Rutherford.
Great transition basket there, filling the lane on the other end. But yeah, you can just see how the game's evolved and seeing how it's become crazy with the social media aspect and the publicity some of these guys have. I know I wrote an article about LaMelo Ball. They've been in the news a lot lately. Just him dropping a high school shoe, a signature shoe to a high school player.
It's insane.
It could change amateur hoops.
And there's so much to unpack in this. I know we're talking, but we're very involved in this world. And the other thing that I think there's a misconception among a lot of fans who aren't as knowledgeable or maybe just not as familiar with the travel ball circuit is that the vast majority of players are never paid. They don't get money to go to college. They're just trying to get a scholarship.
Great
and the vast majority of colleges are not paying for those players either,
Exactly, and that's what I said. And another piece I wrote, pay the kids or somebody else will.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to look out for these kids, these athletes, because, I mean, they don't have time to work. This is a full-time job here.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of players that you see playing college ball at, especially at your Division II and what they would consider low major, they're not getting paid. I mean, most of those colleges are actually losing money off their programs. When you get up into the Power 5 conferences, though, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, my goodness. There's a great find there, but Wilkins taking it strong, punches it with authority on the other end. Great find there by his teammate Quest, and they're going to be one of the better backcourts here in the Triad this year at Mount Tabor.
They just reloaded. Winston-Salem Prep just reloaded. They're always a contender. At the 1A level, you've got Prep, and you've got is it Rocky Mount?
Mount Airy. Mount Airy's really good in 1A.
That's true. Mount Airy's strong. Bishop
really
McGinnis has won a state title. They haven't contended for a few years. They have a good coaching staff.
Definitely got to look at them. Coach Levi Goins got a lot of talent coming back. Coach Gabriel at Lincoln Charter, a lot of talent, defending 1A state champions. Came in and beat Prep on the road this year, so I'm sure we'll see those guys meet again, and that'll be a heck of a contest. You got Jackson Gabriel, Cody Schubert. A lot of guys that can really make a difference, can hoop down there.
Yeah, Cody Schubert's a great guard. Has been tracking for a while. You've got, of course, you've got your Devin Dotson guys at the private level, but there's a lot of talent in North Carolina. It has been for years. We've had. It's hard to duplicate our high school class of 2016, where you have a few lottery picks in the same class.
Schubert did play with Team Charlotte for a while. Him and Dawson were actually teammates on the AAU circuit.
Yeah.
Aaron Wiggins, another guy out of the state, committed to Maryland. Ian Steer recently committed to NC
Steer is
State.
a fantastic
man.
above-the-rim player.
He's a beast.
I really think that NC State fans are going to like what they see from Steer.
Yeah, and I never really saw him fitting in at Creighton, so I wasn't surprised.
He's one of those guys that I just don't think enough coaches had seen him to know how athletic he really was. He is an above-the-rim beast.
He looks like the second coming of Blake Griffin.
Yeah, he's got great timing, and he's got great strength.
Athletic, nice size. He's strong, just explosive.
Yeah.
Off on the three there from Goodlow.
Goodlow with the hezzy.
Oh, my goodness, what a pass there. What a find from
Williamson, yeah. Deep shot. He's just unconscious in that one. Well, I guess he's a little conscious.
And Williamson really expecting to have a big senior year. Those guys are really working hard over at Winston-Salem Prep, and you can see them preparing for the preseason.
We've got a stoppage in play here. I don't know what's going on here.
The select team's up 29-17 here with 6 minutes left. And this is a heck of a team put together by Coach Keyshawn Bishop.
Yeah. Keyshawn always likes to bring in as much talent as he can. So even if the team's high school isn't in this event, they can still play.
Yeah, and I know Prep doesn't like playing a lot of stuff. They did play in the Phenom preseason tournament. Got to see some of those talented guys. Deep three there, Wilkins off. Anderson with the rebound. He's looking to push it. Great pass there. Great find. And finish just off the mark.
You're tearing me up. You're costing me assist.
I need my assist. And Anderson, when I saw him play last year, when I just saw flashes of the old Miss star Marshall Henderson, he reminds me of that kid so much. Just unafraid to take any shot, and once he gets hot, he can hit 3, 4 in a row from deep. That'll be a foul right there, and Isaiah Wilkins will take it out on the side here.
10-point gap. And, I would actually say that it could be a bigger lead if it wasn't for the fact that we have some mistakes from BCBA Select.
Yeah, definitely.
Self-inflicted mistakes.
They haven't taken care of the basketball as good as you would expect with that backcourt. Reynolds got a young, scrappy group, some athletes. They're not afraid to get out and run. And I'll tell you, one kid I'm excited to see for them is Caden Davis, a freshman that will be coming in. I'm not sure if he'll be on the JV or varsity team, but when I did the play-by-play and covered the CP3 Rising Stars with Netcast earlier in the year, Marcus, when we were over in Greensboro, he really stood out. He really had a great camp, and he showed that he could be an impact scorer at the next level.
Yeah, that was a great event. We were happy to be a part of that, thanks to Chris Paul and his organization. And SUV TV, our friends down in Atlanta.
Yeah, great organization down there in Atlanta, SUV TV. Covering hoops all across the state. Looks like there's going to be a foul call. We're going to switch. Called the travel on Anderson there. It's full court pressure being played here by Reynolds. We'll see if they can dig in here.
Down by 12. Might as well try to do something to gain those possessions like we were talking about in the last game.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got to try to win this last 4 minutes. Oh, good defense there. Looks like number 9, Jay Sean Hawkins will pick up the foul, but he disagreed there.
So we're coming to you live from Winston-Salem, as we said at the top of the broadcast, Calvary Baptist Day School, located technically between Winston-Salem and Louisville, Clemens area. Great facility, great court here.
Yeah, new floor. Coach Ryback very, very proud of that new floor they got going this season. I'm sure Cougar Nation is going to be rocking this year.
Yeah, they should have a good squad, and that floor looks amazing.
Yeah, and like you said, very good squad. Jackson Gammons, Jordan Timon, some of those guys are going to come back and really pick up where they left off last year in the state playoffs. A lot of talent, versatility with that group as well. They'll have some size on the inside. They've competed a lot, and they'll actually be in action next weekend at Phenom's High School Showcase.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good group. Them and East Forsyth out of the area.
We were lucky that we did the Triad Pro-Am here, and I think we were able to do the first event on the new floor. It still had that new floor smell.
It did.
You could still smell the wood.
Still shiny, and that was a heck of a league as well. Very competitive. Good to see some of these former guys. Quest just couldn't come up with it there. Nice effort on the save attempt Yeah, just great effort, and it'll be interesting to see. You can see some of these former high school stars from around the area move on to the semi-pro league that we have going on here and continue the game of basketball.
Now, to talk about the high school, the upcoming season just a bit, like you alluded to, is starting up soon. Since prep is at the 1A level, and, Reynolds is at the 3A level, if I'm not mistaken. So you're also looking at that right now as you're watching a lot of these prep guys will be playing. And at the 1A level, there just isn't as much talent. So you've got this loaded team coming in, and you've got a few teams that have a lot of talent, and they make a run.
Yep, and that's the thing about some of these 1As, like you mentioned, Prep and Lincoln Charter. I mean, you look at their schedule, and it's stacked with schools of every division. These guys are competing year in and year out for state titles, regional titles. I mean, they're sending kids to D1 colleges, and these are the type of schools that really have built basketball powerhouses.
Back-to-back free throws right there. Cut the lead back to 12.
Davian looking to create some space. Good find there. Wilkins almost got the and one to fall. No, that's something he is really money. He is a polished mid-range scorer. Wilkins really can operate down there.
Williamson is just so shifty. He doesn't just look to beat people with the dribble. He looks to beat people with the pass.
Yeah, very unselfish volume scorer. You see a lot of guys that score 20 points a game, but they have to take 30 shots. He finds his shot within the
Iverson
offense.
method.
Yeah, the Iverson, the Kobe.
I might score 50 on you, but I'm going to put up 150 shots. Whatever the math needs to be for that to equal 50 points is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Just going with that mentality. Yeah, Wilkins connects on the second.
Now I say that, and I will tell you, I'll just set the record straight. Iverson was one of the greatest high school players I ever got the chance to scout. So,
man, I couldn't imagine seeing him and guys like KG back in the day.
Yeah, there's some guys that were just, well, a lot of guys are just clearly a cut above when you see them in high school. But I'd say I remember Karan Butler being somebody that just wowed me, and Jason Kidd.
Yeah, Kidd.
These guys just at the high school level were just phenomenal.
And Select really able to corral the rebound. Great hustle, great effort. 94, they're not afraid to get dirty for it. And that's Nazir Clemens, one of these returning role players for Clemens Clemens from Reynolds that, played some minutes last year, was really counted on for his defense. He was really tasked with guarding the other opposing player's best offensive player. This year, I think he'll be relied upon on some more scoring and maybe, to lead a little bit more. And I'm expecting some good things out of him this year.
A little bit of housekeeping. We had to update the clock. The clock had stopped with the timeout here in the first half. And I'm not sure what you would be discussing at this point with 27.4 left in the first half, but
yeah, still down by 12 here. We'll see if maybe they try to go for a 2-for-1, force a 2-for-1.
If Reynolds is going to make a run, they're going to have to figure out. Basically, everything that BCBA Select has done has worked, and it's in the transition, it's in the half court. I would start by trying to take away one of those.
Yeah, definitely. They got to just try to fight through it. I mean, they're playing a loaded lineup, but whenever they can, make up with, less talent, they need to make up with heart, effort, and getting some of these 50-50 balls. So Nazir will inbound the ball to Goodlow. Goodlow, one of the younger guys on here, I think he's a junior this year. He's going to have to step up this season, really go into attack mode, provide some ball handling ability as well as a scoring punch for these guys, Ian Anderson and company. Almost a turnover there.
Yeah, they've got to do a little bit better job of handling the ball. You can't have self-inflicted wounds.
Borland shot off the mark.
Wanting to push the ball like BCBA Select. Rattles around, no good. Going to do it. Fortunately, we did not start the clock on our end.
Bring it back out. We still got time left.
We still got the second half. Second half is going to be flawless, Brandon.
Second half is going to be dope. Y'all are not going to want to miss it. I'm telling you.
So we'll be back in just a few.
And we are back for second half action here. We got BCBA Select versus the Reynolds Demons. And BCBA Select's up 35-23 early here. A lot of different schools represented, combination, different five guys. Deep three there by Quest Aldridge, Mount Tabor. With some prep guys out there playing as a unit. They've looked good. One of the better teams so far in this league as Anderson gets the turnover there. Quest up ahead to just off the mark, pass just a little ahead of Corey Rutherford down there. Looks like it might have been tipped on this end.
Level set, everybody. Once again, we have a running clock in today's game, so probably stop in the last 2 minutes, I think.
Step back. Shot off the mark. Oh, great rebound. A lot of contact.
Yeah.
He way to absorb it, use his body, and strong enough to get the shot attempt up there, bank it in.
In some leagues, that would be a foul.
So we're going to get a push there. Obvious push, blatant push right there. And you're right about that. A lot of contact. They're really doing a good job. The officiating definitely has been consistent, and they're letting them play out there today.
Yeah, I know that when I was in high school, I had a coach that told me never count on the foul. He didn't like it when said, yeah, you could get fouled, and that could be the reason why you miss a shot, but don't count on it. Just go to play through it, power through it as if you're not expecting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't think you're going to get the call. That's a nice finish right there.
Great finish there, back-to-back buckets. Oh, you just lost it, and BCBA select again.
They're really wanting to run.
So good in transitions. Aldridge just leaves it short. Goodlow gets the rebound. Reynolds getting out 3-on-1 off the backboard.
Oh, he lost his defender.
Nice full court pass. Just a flick of the wrist from Wilkins there to his man from Spartan City, Quest Aldridge, and he finishes. Goodlow and Borland were looking to bring the house down with that. Oh, okay. He's coming back at him.
Even the ref was like,
Borland. Springy young athlete, really showing the bunnies here. See some of the other names on here. One, Anthony Hicks supposed to be here for Team BCBA Select, young guard out of North Forsyth, and they should be pretty good this year as well. Out in the 3A conference, and new 3A conference featuring Parkland, Southwest Guilford, some of these other schools from 4A Southwest just coming off a state title. That 3A conference North finds themselves in now is going to be a gauntlet, man, I tell you. Dudley in that group as well. Northern Guilford, Mount Tabor, Parkland, some of those other programs around the Winston-Salem area.
Shout out to Dudley, one of my favorite gyms to broadcast from.
Yeah, great. I was actually out that way for the Josh Level Classic earlier in the year. Great event out there.
Yeah, we did that. Did they have it at Dudley this year?
Yeah, they had it over at Dudley
We did that the first year, and it was at Dudley, and then the following 2 years it was at, I'm going to say Southwest Guilford maybe.
Okay.
But, we would have liked to, this year we were booked with some of the ECBL, but coming up this year, we always like to support the Josh Level Classic.
Great event, lots of talent.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Josh Level was a basketball player, highly recruited basketball player. He was from Greensboro, played in Asheville, North Carolina, in his high school ball at was it Christ School. Same school a couple of the Plumleys played at. And, yeah, they were playing. I think they were playing a game here in Winston-Salem against Quality Education, and Josh unfortunately collapsed on the floor, and that was it. He was gone, and very unfortunate. Great young man, great player. And so every year, a lot of his teammates actually got together that year and held a charity event in his name, and they've been doing it ever since. So.
It's a great event to carry on that young man's legacy.
First year, I think, I can't remember if Harry Giles was playing. I know he was there. I think he may have been injured. Theo Pinson, who was going on to play at UNC, and several other guys all that first year.
And, I know this year, LeVar Batch, Jalik Felton, the Langleys, BJ Mack, a lot of guys from the Hoop State were out there putting on. Ian Steele, like we mentioned earlier, Aaron Wiggins, a lot of D1 guys that are going to be making the big impacts in a lot of different conferences.
And for people out there that are basketball fans, I know a couple years ago we had the Dennis Smith, Harry Giles, Sasha Achillia Jones. The year after that we had Bam, who's now in the NBA. So
had his first start this week against
Marcus
Aldridge.
Hey, he's a good guy, man.
Yes,
we broadcast him a lot in high school at High Point Christian, and I always thought he was an NBA prospect.
Great move there by Isaiah Wilkins, and that's an underrated skill. He can really put his back to the basket and muscle over some of these smaller guards that try to check him this year. But yeah, like you said, Bam, great guy. Actually have a roommate from Chalquinity, North Carolina, with the area those guys are down by north side where they're really from. My roommate from college, and his little brother was best friends with Bam, knew him in high school.
Bam was a great guy, always easy to talk to. Always, we loved doing the sideline interviews with him.
Mm-hmm. Part of that talented Kentucky team from last year.
Yeah.
It seems like we say that every year.
Well, there's certain schools that just sort of reload. They don't rebuild.
Yeah, I
UNC,
agree.
your Duke, your Kansas.
Yeah, Duke, especially them in Kentucky, really been on the one-and-done wave. But Carolina saw landed Nazir Little, first top 10 player they've gotten in about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that was an interesting get for them.
Yeah, definitely. And I know they're in the running for a few other guys. I think Jalik Felton could be big time for those guys. Forget the kid, Kobe White. White would be big time for them as well.
A couple years ago, we've done over the past couple of years, we've done Jalik and we've done Kobe both in various games, broadcasting here on Netcast Sports. You can just let everybody know you can find out when we have broadcasts coming up on Netcast Sports. One of the best ways to keep up with us is on Twitter at Netcast Sports, and you can
follow.
Yep, and you can follow. You watch all the games live and on demand on netcastsports.com.
Oh, great find there. Rutherford from deep is good.
That's his calling card. I mean, he doesn't just have the size of a collegiate shooting guard. He's got the stroke.
Yeah, he does, definitely. He's been getting some strong interest as Anderson with the no-look to Borland gets the shooter's roll. Like you said, at the next level, he could be a really valuable two-guard. Rutherford got a lot of interest from Catawba, strong interest there, some other D2s. I think his recruitment will continue to go. Transferring Winston Prep, I think the buzz will continue to grow.
Yeah, I think a lot of colleges out there, if you're looking at you're looking for a solid prototype shooting guard.
Yep.
I mean, collegiate size shooting guard. Corey Rutherford is your guy.
Solid 6'4".
Number 100 in white, and he's over here talking to Williamson.
He's teammates there. Solid 6'4" guy. He's all of 6'4". Nice frame. He's a gamer. I think.
It's colleges are always looking for those guys that are, you don't just want somebody who can play at the high school level and then they get to college, they kind of vanish. Oh, that's a beautiful little slide in there and finish.
Yeah, I agree.
Corey's a guy who has a demeanor of somebody who's ready to go play at the next level, like his attitude and everything. He's got one more year of high school, but he's going to make that transition.
Yeah, it's, Nazir's called for the walk there, and I agree. It's just his temperament it's good, and he'll continue to get better. I think coming from Atkins, they're the young program there, only 9 wins a year ago. I think playing with Prep and the schedule they do, the exposure they get will definitely help him.
Yeah, and to give college coaches a little bit of insight into that, Atkins was sort of revamped.
Yeah,
as a school, the structure of the school was revamped.
Strictly academics.
Within the past 4 or 5 years. So they had a tiny student body to begin with, and they were sort of building out from that over the past 4 years. So, their sports programs are fledgling at best. So he's transferring away from that. Not stating anything good or bad about Atkins. No. Just letting people know. It's like they 8-9 wins. Sometimes people look at the win-loss record and they're like, well, how good could players be?
And I actually went and featured them. Definitely check out the new documentary series, What's the Hype? on Hype Films Productions channel, but on YouTube, they'll be the fourth school featured. And the great spirit over there. You know, those guys, they're really hype about the new culture they're trying to create there, like you said. Great take there.
Oh, that was beautiful.
With the academics, you know, some of the guys that they, you know, wanted to admit into the school to play ball this year had to go elsewhere because they didn't have the grades to qualify. So that can, you know, limit the talent and fluctuation they get.
That school is based around the STEM program, and
yeah.
You know, they have everything over there. It's they have the 3D printer, you know, it's really nice.
And coach was telling me, you know, those kids, they work hard in the classroom, and he knows one thing above all, that whenever they do graduate, either athletically or academically, his guys will be ready for college. So they got a young team, but they've got some Arrington Jones. They've got some good kids over there. They've got a really good freshman as well, point guard over there. So they'll have some bright pieces. Oh, Borland with the fadeaway. He's so long, you just cannot block that shot.
We need more of that. Down by 30 now, 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, they do, and I'm guessing we're going to have a running clock for sure the rest of the way.
Yeah, it'd be unlikely unless Reynolds can start to get something going, and it's just right now, everything's falling.
And, yeah, I guarantee you, folks, if you're going to be watching Miss Southern Prep this year, you're going to be seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, here you go, wide open chance.
And it's showtime. Oh, God,
Corey, come on.
And he's mad at himself
Let me make
about
a note of that.
one.
I will be giving him a hard time about that later today.
And the shot is good there. Nice find by Anderson. Oh, full court pass. It looked like Quest wanted Corey on the outlet, but he wasn't. Miscommunication there.
If the worst thing that happens to you is you miss a dunk, it can feel bad. It can feel like you didn't play well.
Yeah.
He's been lighting it up.
Plays like that could just change the whole momentum of the game.
You scored 30, but you missed a dunk. You'll go home and you won't feel good.
Wilkins with the strong rebound. And you got to admire the way this team really gets out in transition. Oh, great take. And one for Quest Aldridge there. And he's so smooth, and he does not need but just a smidgen of space. So slick, and he just finds the cracks in the defense and shimmies through them.
I mean, here's the thing. If you look at prep, and you know, you're really looking at a team that can kill you in a lot of ways with scoring. I mean, they don't have a big post man. They've had big post guys in the past. They don't have a big dominating 6'8" guy or anything like that in the center. But they have a lot of scorers. Athletic, college-level scorers.
Definitely. That backcourt with them guys, Justice Goodlow, Chaz Gwynn, they're going to have a really good backcourt this year. I know they got a freshman, Zaire Williams, 6'6" freshman that's going to be playing big minutes in the front court. They're going to be expecting a lot of him as Quest gets the steal. Maybe off the backboard? No, he's going to take it for himself.
He's really gifted at scoring.
He is.
Finishing right there on the move.
Heck of a save, and Anderson really showing the wheels, but gets his pocket picked by Williamson. Corey.
Oh, see, those are the self-inflicted wounds. That's the only thing that's going wrong for BCBA Select today is just little self-inflicted turnovers and things.
It's almost like, Marcus, that these guys are almost too unselfish at times.
Yeah, when you get into certain programs, if you've got a talented player, the coach will give them a hard time and say, look, you need to take that shot. You know, you're our best option. And players, you know, a really good player who's been coached well and has a good mentality knows, you know, it's not all about me. And then sometimes they get on a team where the coach says, oh, sometimes it is all about you.
Borland's so active on both ends. He can't get to go there, but he's been one of the lone bright spots for this Reynolds team. He looks young in the face. Not sure his year, but he looks really young in the face out there. Didn't see him last year, so I'm guessing he's a new face.
Good timing. He's got good timing, good putback. It's just tough for him to contend in there with so many people, the athletes on the other side.
I'll agree. As Wilkins buries a three on the other end down there, and they've completely taken control of this game, Marcus. Oh, great block. Borland, way to stick with it.
There's that timing. That block was negated.
Very Zion Williams-esque there with the two-hand pin block. Oh, step backs. Oh, I was about to say, stop it. And Anderson looking to push and transition. No look.
There's another no look. That's the 2 or 3 times we've seen that from him today.
Yeah, and he's really being active, good playmaker. His shot isn't falling the way that he wants and that it normally does. He might have got away with one there, but he's not letting it psych him out of the game. Love the way Borland runs the floor. He's open for another one. don't feed him there.
They're not really looking for him as much as they need to be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this kid really could maybe go for about 20 points if they really look for this kid down low, because he's got a nice mid-range game, nice touch around the rim, big soft hands, springy, explosive athlete.
Got a timeout on the floor. Teams want to talk it over.
We've got some members from the other teams piling up here for our next game, and that will be the showdown.
Number one versus number 2.
For all the marbles, Marcus. We are going at it. Comes down to one Saturday. 6 weeks of action comes down to one Saturday.
You know those other tournaments where they play elimination games and all that? We don't have any of that. We don't need that. We already know who number 1 or number 2 is. We're just going right to the main event.
Right to it. We're not going to waste your time. No preliminary rounds. We're going to put the 2 best on the floor, 5-on-5, and we're going to watch them fight it out.
So, yeah, we got the Wildcats versus the Eagles. Coming up, number 1 versus 2 in the BCBA 2017 playoffs and championship.
East Guilford versus Davie County. That'll be an interesting matchup. 2 counties. Deep 3 there by Quest, and he buries it. He and Isaiah are really going to be counted on heavy by Coach Muse this year to lead this Mount Tabor team. I mean, they lose several seniors. They lost Nicholas Eptimov as Anderson takes it to the rack. Borland, there again, springy athlete, but they lost Nicholas Eptimov to transfer. They're really going to be guard heavily dominated, and they're going to have to shoot. They're going to have to take and make a lot of threes, and I expect them to play really fast.
Well, Muse is a great coach, and he's won the whole thing.
Yep.
And he's taken teams deep in the playoffs several times. His teams are always competitive. Another one of our gyms that we like doing broadcasts from, Mount Tabor.
Agreed, and that's 2 things. 2 coaches I really admire about about them. Coach Sean Vestal at North Forsyth and Coach Muse, like you mentioned, at Mount Tabor. They might not always have top tier talent like some of the schools, but they come out hard every night, and you know he's going to get the absolute best out of every player.
Well, you know, we like to talk a lot about the players. We're going to give a little shout out to some of the coaches right here in the Triad. We've talked earlier about how there's great high school talent in Charlotte and Raleigh and in the Triad, but Charlotte and Raleigh tend to have more players come out of those areas from the sides of the cities. But here in the Triad, you've got Freddie Johnson, who coaches at Greensboro Day.
The legend.
Yeah, and has coached in the Dick's Sporting Good national tournament a couple of times, winning
McDonald's All-American game coach.
And the 2, I think, what is he, 1,100 wins lifetime, somewhere in that range. I'm sorry.
He'll be approaching, I think, 1,000 wins this year at Greensboro Day.
And here's the thing,
Fast
we've
break
got another
there.
big 3.
Bang.
Yeah. And we've got, on top of that, we've got Howard West,
also
in the 1,000 win range over here at Forsyth Country Day. Coached for years at a couple of other public schools, most recently Reagan High School.
Yeah, here. West was a big-time. Before I graduated in 2011, Reagan was pretty dominant powerhouse. 2 Frank Spencer Conference championships. They went like 18-1 one season. Like they were very talented groups. Borland almost pinned that one.
Still finished.
And, none of those guys went big D1 or, I know Matty Madigan went D1 from that squad, but I think he's the only one still, really playing competitive college basketball. And, I mean, he just really systematically fit those guys together. Rutherford from deep again.
That was just ice cold.
I mean, all those teams were fundamentally sound. They played hard. They played hard for each other. They trusted one another.
And then you've got, in addition to, we mentioned Andy Muse at Mount Tabor, you've also got Andre Gould, which you mentioned at Winston-Salem Prep.
Coach Gould, yeah.
Both of those coaches have won state titles. We've got Rusty LaRue at West Forsyth.
And he's, coming back. Big-time reputation. Coming back to public school, coaching his kids, his 2 sons. And he's really turned that program around at West Forsyth.
Big 3 right there. And then we've got not last one, not least. There's some other coaches and
Coach Muse, Gray Muse at
East Forsyth.
Be doing
Mike Muse at East Forsyth.
Muse, yes sir.
And we've got Josh Thompson at Bishop McGinnis, who's won a state title at the 1A level. He's still coaching there at Bishop. And if you want to go to the girls, also at Bishop, Brian Robinson.
Great move. What a
multiple
spin.
back-to-back titles. Yeah, that was nice.
You cannot sleep on that 1A division. It's growing so much, and it definitely is one of the toughest divisions. private and public 1A.
And
Definitely.
the threes are just raining. It's hard for hard for us to keep up with the scoreboard here.
And it's like they're getting the same looks the Storm we're getting, but they're just knocking them all down.
This would be a whole different game. This is why these teams are.
Oh,
are
Rutherford on the
higher.
fast break. My goodness. Off the mark there. Oh, gets the rebound. Tip pass.
Yeah, just too easy.
And you can see all these guys being from, different schools, they've actually built pretty good chemistry playing with each other over the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
And,
great players learn how to work together quickly.
definitely, I agree. Oh, Borland with the banger coming down the middle. And he's got me looking forward to seeing some Reynolds basketball.
He's definitely a player.
He could be one to watch this year. And, it'll be a very, very good season this year for a lot of teams. As Jalen Austin entering the building, recent Gardner-Webb commit for, reigning state runner-up.
Here's
Eastern
Corey
Griffin.
running the break there.
Great find.
That's a 2-on-3, 2-on-4 break.
And I'm still putting my odds on them. Oh, great take there by Anderson. And they're staying aggressive, like Reynolds' effort. Oh, great steal, almost steal there.
Clock continues to run, 1:51 left here in this game.
You got to applaud the effort, the intensity. Reynolds still, fighting with everything they got.
So we'll wind down here. This one's unfortunately been over for a while. Reynolds just not able to keep up with the BCBA select team.
Davion called for the hold right there on the offensive end. Yeah, a lot of talented teams, private and public, this year will be battling it out. You'll see some of the private schools. Ian Anderson from deep right there, big three. But you'll see some of the private schools and the public schools go against each other. Sometimes it doesn't work, but we'll see some showcases they'll both be battling it out. I'm excited to see Smith. Ben Smith School will have a lot of talent up there. Isaiah Bigelow, those guys up there, a lot of D1 guys. North Meck out of Charlotte, Rocky River, Jaden Springer, and those guys. It'll be a lot of good basketball.
Yeah, I love the high school season getting ready to kick off. So we're about to wrap up here, guys. Come back in just a few moments for the main event. Number 1 versus number 2, Wildcats versus the Eagles.
Can't wait.
For the title, for the 2017 Blue Chip Basketball Academy Triad Fall League title. And that's a long title, but they put it all on the trophy. They put the whole thing on the trophy. It'll be on netcastsports.com.
And it's Rutherford the last 10 seconds, dribbling the clock out. There'll be a foul there.
And that's going to do it, I think. So we're done here. Game number 2, we're going to wrap it up, and you guys come back for the main event in just a moment here on Netcast Sports. I am Marcus Shockley alongside Brandon Blakeney, and we'll see you in just a few moments.